Hey.
Sorry we're a few minutes late, everybody.
Yeah, it's technical difficulties.
Yeah. Who's like running Ethernet cables across our house right
At a full
beforehand.
sprint. I wish people could see behind the scenes. We should set up a camera one day and just show like behind the scenes.
I don't know if I want people to see how chaotic our house is on a daily basis.
Our lives are. We're
Toddler.
professionals, I swear.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
Yeah. So first off, but before we chit chat a little bit and bring our guests in, thank you everybody for joining us. If you're here for the first time, this is our Monday night live stream where we talk all things Lorcana, particularly the Lorcana news that's happened the last week and what's upcoming. We've got some exciting stuff to talk about this week. Yeah, we're here every Monday night. So
except for last Monday night. Yeah.
Monday night. We were holidaying.
We were holidaying. If you're watching from the States, it's the holidays. And fun things. Yeah, we went home to see Liam's family. That was a lot of fun in Maine. We had snow. We should have shown Maine pictures, like of you sledding and all the Maine things. We had lobster. You know, the things you do when you go to Maine.
It's a lot colder in Maine than it is in Texas. I can tell you that.
That is for sure. It is 85 degrees Fahrenheit today, and that is ridiculous.
So shout out to everybody watching. Hey, shout out to Glimmers here, Bobby Break, watching from Dallas, and a couple people in Twitch. Hey, Twitch folks. So thanks for tuning in. So anyway, great break. And we were not live last week, which is I think like the fourth show maybe or the fifth that we've skipped in like a year.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah. It's kind of nuts. But yeah, we were staying at Liam's mother's house. We had 11 people staying in a 1,400 square foot house. So just to put that into perspective,
and
for folks.
3 of them were kids,
and 3 of them were not only not just kids, they were toddlers,
like itty bitty kids. So it was wild.
A lot of fun.
It was chaos indeed. All right, just get this link up here. So so a lot to talk about this week. We've got a few community notes. We're going to talk about a tournament that happened last weekend. We've got some awesome guests. We're going to talk about Quest in the Park. Before we bring in our guests, though, I know a lot of people are here for a giveaway that we've announced, courtesy of Southside Gaming, fantastic store in South Florida, who's been doing some awesome stuff for the community. Here's how this giveaway is going to work. Couple rules. One, you got to be present to win because it's a live stream. That's the rule. What we're going to do is I'm going to post the link here shortly, and I may post it once or twice throughout the show. And the link is to a Google form. You fill that out. We're not going to use the information for anything, but we need the email address, et cetera, to prevent repeat entries and all that. And that's how we're going to contact the winner. You fill it out, and we're going to do a drawing near the end of the show. And once we do the drawing, then that's who will win. So we're really excited. Looks like this prize,
very technical. We'll do a drawing it's very and technical. The person will win.
But look at this thing.
This is so cool. I really want one.
I made this full screen. Boom. It's an Enchanted Stitch, sketched by Peter Raimondo. I was in Enchanted Stitch from the first chapter, but sketched by Peter Raimondo.
Who is one of the, for those of you who may not know, Peter Raimondo is one of the animators on Stitch. He was one of the animators of Stitch himself. So super, super fun. Amazing person. So he goes to a lot of Lorcana shows now. And he did Stitch. Oh my gosh, he did Stitch, Mulan, Brother Bear, lots of other things. He worked on, I said Mulan.
Oh, sorry.
Princess and the Frog?
He did, actually. He got brought back for Princess and the Frog, which was,
he worked on Beauty and the Beast, I think, too, and Tarzan.
I know he did Tarzan. I'm not sure about Beauty and the Beast. He did some cleanup on Lion King when they remastered that, though, too.
Oh, he had that piece of art at Legends from Beauty and the Beast. So I just assumed.
Oh yeah, he did. He does a lot of Beauty and the Beast sketches.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a really interesting. One note, like you talked about Princess and the Frog, was really.
I was gonna say our other interesting fact about Peter, but nobody else cares about that.
Oh no, he has friends in my hometown.
Liam's hometown is like non-existent. It's like a postage stamp of a town. And we were talking to Peter, and Peter knows a guy who lives down the street from Liam's mom, which is just
small. It was a small world
mind
moment.
blowing. Okay,
small world moment.
Go ahead.
No, that's all right. I'll save that for later when we do another reminder. So anyway, I did post the link to the giveaway. It should be on every platform. I don't see it having gone to Twitter. I don't think it's gone out there. So if you're watching on Twitter, you're going to have to
head over to YouTube
and find the link. But on most platforms, that link is there. So you can go, you can fill it out, and we'll do the drawing later in the show. All right.
Woo-hoo.
What else? What else?
I think that's it.
All right, let's bring in our amazing guests.
Okay.
All right, let's first bring in a guest who's been here.
I think he's now like maybe our unofficial official co-host.
Yeah, he's reached like co-host status. But welcome from Team Labyrinth, Logan Taylor.
Hey, Logan. Hello.
Hi. Hey. Fancy seeing you here, Logan.
Fancy being back again. Who would have thought?
Yeah. No, I appreciate having you here. Always great to have you. I don't know. It's just always fun hanging out. Yeah. So on a Monday night. So I appreciate it.
Oh, I'm like super happy I'm actually able to do it now, but even more happy that I get invited to do it. So
yeah. How was your holiday, Logan?
It's pretty great. I went back home to Tennessee to see my brothers and my grandparents. Ended up staying at my grandparents' house the whole time because, I moved my bed and everything to Pennsylvania. Mm-hmm. But it was good. I haven't actually got to spend that amount of time with my family for a while. What about you guys? Did you have a good? I mean, you kind of already touched on the things you did, but.
Yeah, no, it was great. We got to see Liam's sister. We got to meet our niece for the first time. She's a little older than our daughter, but we hadn't met her before. So, we got to meet her. That was fun. So, yeah. Good times. Good stuff.
That was great. Just doing a little mic adjustment.
Oh yeah.
No. So let's bring in our next guest. Who first? Oh, we're gonna go top to bottom here in the green room.
In the green room.
These are gonna be strangers to nobody, especially if you watched our show before. But next up, it's Sarah, aka Lorcana Librarian.
Hey, Sarah.
Hello. Hello.
You, if you've been around Lorcana for a while, you may recognize Sarah from her podcast or our streams or online or at a Lorcana challenge where she often serves
most importantly
as a judge,
Madam Judge.
Yeah.
Feels so official.
She's quite possibly the most official judge you'll see.
That's true.
I feel official. Oh man.
How was your holiday, Sarah?
It was great. My partner had to work, unfortunately, so I had kind of a quiet day, but I had a very eventful pack in my stocking, which led to a legendary Wreck-It Ralph. So all things considered, very exciting.
Very nice.
Yeah.
We were doing stockings for our whole family, and Liam then went on a little bit of a power trip and was like, wait, we get to pick stocking stuffers for everybody? I'm like, Liam, everybody in your family does not want Lorcana cards.
That's true. That happens.
He's like, do.
But what if everybody got a pack?
He's like at Target in Maine, like, oh my gosh, the power. And I'm like, Liam, everybody in your family, including your grandmother, does not want Lorcana cards for Christmas.
Well, it would have been one of those gifts that's like for them, but for me, because they would have been like, this was fun. Here you go. Yeah. So
anyway.
I think they all do. They just don't know it yet, right?
That is true.
Yeah. I'm with you.
Everybody is a Lorcana fan in waiting. And with that, let's round out this square here and bring in one of our favorite people in the world. It's Rebecca from Rebecca Quests.
Hey.
Hello. Bonjour.
I was trying to figure out how to spin that in your parody song, and I couldn't figure it out. Hey, how are you?
I will absolutely start finishing the song.
Yes. I'm doing so good. I'm so happy to be here for Monday Night Lorcana.
Nice. Yeah. So I asked everybody, Rebecca.
Yes.
You might even have Santa Claus at your house. So how was your holiday?
We do. Yeah, we had Santa Claus. Santa brought Caleb a first chapter gift set. So that was pretty cool. And filled our stockings with lots of Lorcana packs. We didn't get anything like super exciting, but a few good cards here and there. But my most exciting Lorcana gift was that Caleb made a trade using cards that he knows he's allowed to trade for an enchanted Ariel for me. And it was the sweetest thing. It was, I know, it like literally almost made me cry. It was very sweet of him. So yeah, he's a good kid.
Yeah, way to go, Caleb.
Yeah.
So he gets a gold star for the year, right? He gets a pass for
for the rest of the year, for the rest of 2024. Yeah.
Shout out to Beer Monster.
Absolutely worth it.
Yeah, no. For anybody interested, you can see this. You did a great reel, Rebecca, on this gift in this moment. And so over on Rebecca's Instagram. You can catch that, and
Graham.
it's pretty great. So
Yeah.
Very
Oh,
good.
hey,
Okay.
that's me.
yeah,
Surprise!
it's this video right here. It's delightful. So everybody should go check it out.
Yeah.
From that
He's a
young man
good
right
kid.
there. Oh wait,
Oh,
you went
well,
away.
Yes.
Sorry.
Oh,
He's up there. Yeah, there he is. He's up there.
From that one, we missed it.
Yeah. I like this. Nebuff and Twitch says nobody offered me Lorcana, so I bought some. Sometimes you got to treat yourself.
You know what?
Treat yourself.
Treat yourself.
Sometimes you have to say, "I've been good this year."
Right? Treat yourself. Yeah, Carlos Fallon says everyone else Lorcana, everyone. I think that's probably true. There's a Lorcana card out there for everybody.
There is.
Yeah.
I will agree with that.
Do you think it's reached
I wonder-
Pokemon status? Actually,
Has it reached Pokemon status?
we
Right.
said there's a Lorcana card for everybody. They always say
Oh.
there's a Pokemon for everybody.
That's true. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
What would be Omi's Pokemon card? Or I mean, not Pokemon card. Omi's Lorcana card.
Snow, an old Disney movie. I'm not
Yeah.
sure.
Oh yeah, Snow White German. Very nice.
Oh,
yeah.
there you go.
There you go.
By the way, shout out to Lorcanaville in here. What is it over there? 3 a.m. now?
Hi,
Again?
villain.
Oh,
Baker,
Baker.
why are you awake?
Up late or early,
Yeah.
depending on how you
So-
look at it.
Shout out there. All right, so we do have something we need to talk about. There's a reason everybody's here, but before we do that, one small community note that I thought it'd be fun to have you all in here to talk
I'm
about.
so excited. What are you doing this Saturday, Liam?
What am I doing this Saturday? I am going to a kids learn to play extravaganza in Austin, Texas.
Oh,
Yeah.
yay.
Lorcana Fanatics, aka Dan and Lily, are hosting a learn to play event / kids focused event. I think there's 15 people signed up so far. So if you are in the Austin area or driving distance, come on out.
You can come hang out.
Yeah, even if you don't have a kid who wants to play, come say hi to all of us. Support the kids. Some of them are experienced players, and some are just learning to play. So, fantastic event, and we want to support it. So we'll be there. And there was somebody else who did a kids event too recently, and I wish I had that pulled up, but. Shout out to
Oh,
them.
it was Ellie,
Presidents.
Sprinkle of Ink, I think, right?
Oh,
No.
was it Sprinkle of Ink? I don't remember.
Maybe. I know she did AA Learn to Play. I don't know if it was kids, but yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Well,
So,
yay for getting more kids to play.
Yeah, look at that, Daniel. Hey, fun.
Hey,
Yes, it
Daniel's
is.
here.
Yes, it is.
I hope you guys have a blast. I hope that all the kids that come just have the best time ever.
Well, according to Dan in the chat, he is guaranteeing that it will be a blast.
Guaranteed.
Well, he
is
was
bringing-
I hope it's going to be a blast. He posts in the chat simultaneously,
It
it's going to
is
be a
going to
blast.
be a
It is
blast.
totally nice. Well, he does bring Lily, so I mean, I
That
don't
is
see
true.
how
Yeah.
it's going to fail.
It's going to be
Right.
great.
That is true.
I'm so excited for that.
Well, I'm excited for that. I'm also excited for the next topic we're going to talk about. I know a lot of folks are here. You're competitive players. You want to hear us talk about SSG and leading into nationals. And so we're going to get there. Before we do that, though, I want to talk about.
Well, we are talking about
or
leading
Continentals, rather.
international.
Oh yeah,
We
it's
are
true.
talking about leading into Continentals,
Road
yeah.
to Continentals.
Yeah.
Not nationals, Continentals. North American Championship. Whatever we're calling it. But we have another event that we want to talk about associated with that event. It's a ton of fun. And I guess I'm just gonna turn it over to Rebecca or Sarah, whoever wants to take the lead, to talk about what you all have planned, and not only how can people who are going participate, but then I know there's a participation from home element you all have built into this. So talk to us about Quest in the Park 25.
Quest of the Park. Oh, you want to start? I'll start?
Yeah.
So I will start by saying that Sarah and I think both of us had dreams way back when of having an event at one of the Disneyland parks where Illuminaires could come and all be at the park together, because who doesn't love going around Disney parks with your friends? And so I reached out to Sarah and said, hey, let's do a thing. We know that Championships is going to be right there at the Disneyland Hotel. So let's plan a Disney day so that we can all go to Disneyland together as Lorcana players, plan some fun meetups. And so that's how Quest in the Park was born. And both of us have experienced seeing other events like this, where people who have a common hobby or interest kind of plan to be at the park at the same time. There's Nurses Day, there's the Dapper Dans thing. There's, I don't know, what else can you think of, Sarah? There's lots of events.
I'm a part of the Bass Day, so
Right.
which is the goth, dark part of Disney.
Is it emo day for Disney?
Yes, it is.
That
Yeah.
sounds awesome.
Yeah. So there's tons of groups that do this. And so we are doing this on January 9th. So it's on the Thursday before championships weekend. And we have planned meetups for like pack rush, going on a ride together, all kinds of things. And it's going to be so fun to have all of our Lorcana friends together at Disneyland.
I am so excited.
Woo.
Yeah.
Woohoo! Katie caved for the rest of the park.
Yeah.
I'm so glad that we could help you cave into that.
So glad they could help you make poor financial decisions possible.
Yeah.
No, incorrect.
Yeah.
These are core memories. You can't put a price on that.
That is true.
No, going to
That's
Disney
fair.
for Quest in the Park, priceless.
Yes,
Priceless.
precisely.
We also
Yes.
we do need to mention Enchanted Kim, who also is a big part of planning this.
Yes.
She couldn't be here tonight, but huge part of pulling this together. So shout out to her as well.
Yeah.
Go
I was
ahead.
going to say we have a schedule. That's funny. Liam, like right on cue. I was going to say we have a schedule of meetups for the day,
We're
and
professional.
hey, look at that. There it is. So we're kind of encouraging everyone to, do your rope drop first thing in the morning and, go around, get those rides in. We do have a VIP tour that Melissa, Missy Enchanted is organizing. And I think there's still a couple spots left open for that. It's like 3 spots left. And then ride the Mark Twain. Oh, the Mark Twain is going to be closed. Sad face. So we're going to ride the Columbia, right? Sailing ship.
Yes.
And we're going to do a Disney bound contest. Like, look at all this fun stuff. Who doesn't want a day at Disneyland that looks like this?
Yeah.
Enchanted Kim will be in the Enchanted Tiki room. It is true, Stephen. And what's exciting about that is I got to go in there for the first time with her when we went after Vegas, which I didn't know at the time. She informed me while we were in there that she's afraid of birds. So she was like, I'm glad these aren't real birds, but this is an exciting time for me. So we can all be there together for Enchanted Kim as she braves the birds of the Enchanted Tiki room. But her favorite is Dole Whip, so.
Well, I mean, as long as there's a Dole Whip in it for you at the end, like
Yeah, it
Dole
balances out,
Whip.
right? Yeah.
so good.
Oh, what's your guys' favorite Disney snack?
Oh my gosh.
I haven't been to
Is it
Disney in
Dole
so
Whip?
long. I can't even name a snack off the top of my head other than like a Mickey
man.
ice cream bar.
From
Well,
pure
that's like a
I mean,
nostalgia.
anything Mickey shaped is great.
Yeah.
So.
Between beignets or churros, I don't know.
Mhm. I was gonna say for pure nostalgia's sake, it's a churro. Like
Right?
my dad lived down the
Mm.
road from the park when I was a kid, and that was like the thing that we did every
Aw.
afternoon. Like that we got to go to the park was have a churro. So
Aw.
like it makes me miss my dad. So,
Aw.
Yeah, for me, I have to agree with the little lore in Twitch here. Dole Whip float for me, or the
Mhm.
Dole Whip. I don't know why. I don't have as much nostalgia for Disney snacks because I only started going as an adult. But the Dole Whip is the one thing that I hunt down.
Mhm.
I will change my answer though if it's like 1 PM and I haven't eaten all day. In which case, the giant turkey leg is at that point in time is my favorite snack.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with that.
I mean, you really only get giant turkey legs at like Ren fairs in Disneyland. So,
It's true.
That's true.
protein.
And we don't have for Quest in the Park, we don't have any planned like play time for like getting in any Lorcana games, but like bring a deck because I'm sure like during lunchtime or just taking a break to rest your feet or whatever, like there's plenty of tables. Find a spot,
will
play a
say-
game with a friend.
We will be doing nap time. Probably
Mm-hmm.
I will not be napping, but somebody will be napping that will have to be stationary. And so, we'll be, yes, that one. Exactly. So we'll have like hour and a half where we need to like, do stuff like play Lorcana.
Like play
Nice.
Come
Lorcana.
hang out with us during nap time.
I think the other exciting thing to me is, I don't know if you all noticed, but on a lot of the logos and things that we've done, it does say Quest in the Park 2025. And the intention is that this would grow and that, this first event, I think right now we have maybe like 30 people or so that have said they're coming. But we want to see it like become a big thing. So we're excited for the future also of having
So-
Illumineers together in the park.
Rebecca and Sarah, are we doing like park hop for those who haven't gotten their tickets yet? Are we doing like park hopper passes? Or are we just kind of hanging out in Disneyland?
Just Disneyland proper. Okay. Yeah.
Just so that folks who are in the chat who might be planning their quest in the park, like we're just chilling in Disneyland that day. If you want to do park hopper, definitely, if that's your day to go to the park hopper all the way.
You do you. Yeah.
Yeah. So for those who are interested in keeping up, there are plenty of ways to do that. There is Quest in the Park 25 on Quest in the Park 25 on most socials. I know it's on Instagram and here on Twitter. Are you on Blue Sky as well yet?
Yes.
Yeah, Blue Sky as well. I should know this. And then there's a Discord server, which is probably one of the best ways you can connect with people, especially day of, and make sure that you're tracking the latest and where everybody's at. So if you're interested in participating at all, make sure you jump into those. And even if you're not going to be in the park the day of, let's say you're not traveling, or perhaps you're traveling a day later, you're traveling on Friday to get to Continentals, still connect with those socials and jump in the Discord server, because there are ways to kind of follow along and participate if you're at home as well, right?
Yeah, we got a couple of ways right now that people can virtually participate in Quest in the Park, because we know not everyone can be there. So one is the Disney Bound contest that's going to be happening for participants at the park, where they're going to take a picture of their Disney Bound in the park, and we're going to have a contest so everyone can vote. So even if you're at home, you can help vote the winner of the Disney Bound contest. We're also going to have a fun scavenger hunt, which is going to be, we haven't announced this yet, so this is the first time you're hearing about it, but we're going to have a scavenger hunt where we're going to have Lorcana cards posted, like pictures in the park, and you'll have to guess where in the park, where in Disneyland the picture was taken, to earn points and win a prize. And we have a couple other things that we're tossing around. We haven't finalized, but we do want people who can't be there, to still participate in some of the fun.
That's so awesome. We're so excited.
It'd be fun. It'd be a fun way. It is great. I mean, this is a Disney card game after all. And, we do connect with it, every single day, but it's really, really fun to get to actually, like, I don't know, to enjoy Lorcana combined with Disney at the same time, and to kind of to share our love of Disney with our Lorcana community and the friends we've made. So I don't know. I'm super excited.
Well, I mean, unironically, if you even talk to sorry, unironically, if you talk to some of the top players, even a lot of us will say the thing that really drove us to the game wasn't even necessarily the gameplay at starts, because, oh, hey, look, that's Disney, that looks cool, and then it just so happens that it's an awesome game on top of it. So like Lorcana Bro is not shy about the fact that he started playing the game because it's a Disney game, not even because it was a card game and he played Magic for years.
Yeah,
I'm very excited to be in the park with Aaron. So
will a large contingent of Labyrinth be in the park for this, or?
Yeah, no, there will be a. Oh gosh, did I send you? I sent you a slide, right?
You did.
And
I
want to make sure I don't leave anybody out.
No, there you go. Now you won't leave anybody out.
So R&B, Lorcana Bro, Sailor, No I'm Not, and Wonderland, and I will be there. Those 5 have already qualified. I will be playing in the LCQs, trying to make sure I qualify. Garrick, he is our new video editor that we have brought on. He's on the left there. He's also going to be playing in the LCQs. And then our very own Sarah is coming, and I'm so excited to have her there, as always.
I'm very excited to have everyone at Disneyland together. So it's going to be very exciting. Oh, Kim's in the chat.
Thursday, we've kind of set aside a day for those of us who are going, if we want to hang out, to do that, because going to the bigger events is really a big just celebration for Labyrinth in general, because we live so far apart, we don't actually just get to hang out very often. So it's really special for Labyrinth anytime we do get to hang out. So this one, especially because the size of it, we're trying to make it as memorable as possible.
That's awesome.
Maybe people can play Pack Rush with someone from Lab and Disneyland.
Yeah, for sure. We haven't quite planned out what our day is going to be, but I highly expect we're going to be a part of Quest in the Park in some way, shape, or form throughout the day.
Yeah,
that's great.
And some of y'all haven't been. Who was it that said from Team Lab hasn't been to Disneyland at all ever?
Sailor. This will be
Was it
Sailor's
Sailor?
first.
Yes.
Oh,
This
So
will be
excited
Sailor's
for him
first.
to go.
Yeah, and he's actually bringing his wife and his son. So it's going to be really big. He's very excited.
that's gonna be awesome.
There were a couple comments in the chat about, is this going to be the only Quest in the Park for 2025? Sarah, you want to speak to that?
Yes, we will be doing the same event for Worlds. So I'm very excited to be bringing some of this magic, some of the same activities, some extra ones. And so with the Worlds being at Disney World, we have a lot more options. So it's going to be very exciting.
Yes.
I'm excited.
And also, just so that we're all above board and everything, this is a total fan-run event, not associated with Ravensburger or Disney Lorcana at all. Just a fan event,
Or PPG.
or PPG, or any of their affiliates, and all of that jazz. Yes,
For legal reasons, we are just nerds.
Exactly. We're just Disney adults doing Disney adult things.
Doing Disney adult things.
And there will be stickers.
Yes, there will be stickers.
Somebody earlier in the chat asked if they could answer some trivia questions from us to win a trivia pin. I don't know. There'd be a lot to carry around, but maybe we bring a few
we could
pins.
bring a few trivia pins. That would be fun.
But it's not going to be like the stream where like you get one, even if you're going to have to answer the questions.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah,
there won't be giveaways, but maybe we'll have some trivia pins there.
Okay, wait, I already have trivia questions in mind. Yeah, we 100% should do this.
I was about to say, like, if you need some, I'm sure Caroline would just love to have.
Oh yeah,
a sheet or two of
Caroline,
actually difficult
trivia questions.
There you go.
So that was
maybe we can do some trivia for our virtual people too. That would be fun.
Yeah, I think that'd be a great way to include them.
That'd be great.
Have some sort of trivia about the park for those participating. Yeah, so maybe we'll give away 2 or 3 throughout the day to people participating virtually. So
okay.
Yeah.
Look at us.
Look at us.
That was totally planned, everyone.
Doing Disney magic. We call it fairy dust.
Yeah.
Yes.
Anyway, super fun.
Pixie dust.
Pixie dust. That's
trust,
right.
and pixie dust.
Bad.
Yes. I know my
Those are the 3 pillars of Lorcana. Did you know that?
Yes.
As a matter of fact, before any card is made, they have to say the mantra over it. Faith, trust, and pixie dust.
Or maybe that's how you finalize when it's done. You're like,
every golden Mickey that gets off of the print, this is made with faith, trust.
It's made out of pixie dust, stamped, heated.
Aren't we wearing T-shirts?
Yeah, but I think people are doing like Disney bounding and wearing T-shirts. So
okay.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'll figure it out.
About it.
Oh no, Elena I think has grown out of her outfit that she wore to Disney last time. So guess I'm going shopping this weekend.
Yeah. All right. Anything we missed from Quest in the Park before we move on? I want to make sure.
I know my internet was crabby, and I don't know if Rebecca mentioned the deck list contest.
Oh, I didn't mention that. Yeah, talk about that.
Yes. So, as part of the virtual way to kind of play along is to submit a deck list that will be thematic to Disneyland. So it could be based on a ride or based on a character at Disneyland or anything Imagineer maybe based, whatever your creativity calls to you. But we will have that and some fun prizing for that. So I'm excited for people to be able to participate at home because I know that it was kind of a stretch for people to be able to go to this so last minute, just the way details came out. So I am excited for everyone to be able to feel connected to this just because the park for me is so important and such a part of why I love Disney. And so to have Lorcana and the park together at the same time is kind of epic for me. So I'm like very excited for this.
All right. The first person to make the best Alice in Wonderland teacups deck.
There you go.
Oh, that would be awesome.
Oh, fun.
Love it.
I was just about to say, like, I stand by the fact that we still need Haunted Mansion cards in Lorcana.
Yeah.
Like, it needs to happen.
So, like, unironically, I'm so excited for the Black Cauldron cards that are coming out very soon.
Yes.
I'm so excited for those.
I'm super stoked. It'll be great.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Well, if for virtual participation for Quest in the Park, you do need to join the Discord because that's where all of that will happen. So you can go to any of the socials, and I think the Discord link should be there. If not, we'll put it there.
Show notes as well.
Oh, cool. Yay. But yeah, join the
If I
Discord.
didn't, it'll be there. But yeah, so we want to see the Quest in the Park Discord blow up during this stream.
Yeah.
So I'll post it in the comments here in a moment as well. Before I do that, and before I ask for any of the closing comments, just one note: I'm going to post one more time, or one of two more times, the second of 3 times, the link to the giveaway that we're doing for that Enchanted Stitch. There are 177 people watching, and there's 53 entries right now, so you still have a pretty good shot. So
the odds are looking like they're in your favor.
They are. So that is again for anybody who's here for the giveaway. I posted the link again in the comments. It may not have made it over to Twitter according to Restream here. So if you don't see it on Twitter, sorry folks, you gotta head over to one of the other socials. All right. And is that it for questions? I feel like there's so much to talk about, but I think we hit most of the highlights.
Let's go through every ride at Disneyland and talk about what they're
Get on it.
What's your favorite ride? Mine's Winnie the Pooh.
Oh my goodness.
I'm
favorite
excited.
ride.
Hall of Presidents. Thoughts?
Hall of Presidents. No, that's Disney World. Oh my gosh. But we are excited. We have at least a few people. If we can get up to 6, we can all get into Chewie mode on the Millennium Falcon. So get on the Discord, get in the ride together thread, and make sure. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Can you imagine?
I
Chewie mode is great,
but I'm excited to find out.
You don't? Oh yeah, we got to get Liam on Chewie mode. Oh, man.
All right.
Yeah, Steven. I think it's Steven. We were thinking it was the Mark Twain, but that's going to be close. And now our second guess is the Columbia can take the most Disney Lorcana Lumineers at once. So
yeah, well, which I think is perfect because the Columbia has got super pirate vibes, which is perfect for Azure at Sea. So we're all gonna take a little pirate trip around the rivers of America together. It'll be great.
I love it. Because they do actually fire the cannons. So bring your fire the cannon cards for when they fire the cannons.
That would be so fun.
Oh man!
Speaking of nerd out so much.
Shout out to Jack Patillo in the chat here, hanging out with us tonight.
Hey, Jack!
One of our favorite theme park fans. Aww. So everybody should go follow Jack for all the goings on at all the theme parks, not just Disney, but the Universal, everything else. So super fun to have you here. All right. We do need to move on.
Jack's in the chat. Sorry, that just made me really happy.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Aaron's like, hold on, we don't need to move on. Let's just talk about Jack.
Let's just talk about Jack. It always makes me so happy when we see someone in the chat that I haven't seen in a long time, and I'm just like, oh, hi, friend.
That's true. That's true. Or on stream here. Anyway. All right. We can come back to the parks before we close out. But before we go too much longer, we do have another guest to bring in the green room to talk about an event from this past weekend, and I want to make sure that we don't leave them hanging out in the green room too long. So as excited as we are for Continentals, or the national, or not nationals, but North American
Championships.
North American Championship. I think,
don't worry, there's only so many words. You'll get there.
Yeah, one of those is right. But as we look forward to the championship and try to figure out, what people are going to be playing, one of the fun things to do is to watch big events that are going on throughout the world to try to get a taste for, what decks are up and coming, what's performing well, and what the meta shares look like at some of these bigger tournaments with some of these better players. And there was a fantastic tournament, a lot of fun to watch this weekend down in South Florida, hosted by Southside Games or Gaming. And not only, one of the reasons that I really enjoyed following this tournament is there are tournaments going on everywhere, and they're all great. Like any tournament, we bring in Lorcana players and you have great prizing and build community and all that. That's awesome. Southside Gaming kind of leaned into it quite a bit, and not only provided 8 cases as prizing for this event with a pretty low entry fee, but there were also had cards that they Peter Raimundo signed cards that they gave to I think all the players. Ask for clarification. They had raffles, and it was a really big community building event. And
it's to that point, I'm pretty sure it was free entry, not even
it's bonkers.
Anybody could just walk up.
Bonkers.
That's amazing.
And then we're to top it all off, talk about the giveaway. We're getting ready to talk about them tonight. We invited some of the folks on who were involved with that, and they're like, hey, we'll give you this Stitch to give away too. And we're like, all right, that sounds great. Let's do it. So just fantastic event. So really excited to talk about it. And so let's welcome in our next guest from Southside Gaming, Oh no, there they are.
Yeah.
Hey,
There they
folks.
How you guys doing?
Hey.
How's it going? How's everything?
I mean, great. We're it's a Monday night. We're talking Lorcana with some awesome people, and you're here. So,
Well, we're truly grateful for all you guys. Thank you for bringing us on. It's truly a blessing. We love you guys, and thank you for having us on.
oh
Well, thanks for being here.
yeah. Thanks for joining us, and thanks for like
Hosting
really
this event.
building community down where you are. This was a fantastic showing. I mean, because I really want to look at the meta. I know there's a lot of competitive players here who want to look at, what decks performed well and what decks showed up for the weekend. But before we go into how things played out, do you want to talk a little bit about this event and what you were trying to do? What's this idea with a free entry?
Oh, absolutely. So, essentially, what we want to do is we just want to provide a hub to where it allows every type of Illuminator, not just competitive players, but you have your casuals, and then you have your collectors as well, to come into an event to where they can prepare themselves for these bigger events, right?
Right.
I find that a lot of these events, one major aspect that a lot of these other tournaments don't give them is exposure to a large field, along with playing for pretty much big prize support. And I think that giving that experience to a lot of these Illumineers, it prepares them for these events, right? That's probably our biggest goal, along with providing a hub for the community to come out there for a fun, safe, and a great time as well, right? So that's our biggest what we try to achieve here at Southside.
That's awesome. Yeah, I'm kind of interested, Rebecca, in your take on this too, because I know for Aaron and I know for a lot of other content creators have been talking about this for a while. We have these big challenges where there's some very competitive players, some wonderful players who show up, who come from other TCGs who are well equipped to do well at those events. And then you do have a lot of people who are experiencing their first TCG with Lorcana and who might be in their very first competitive event, at these challenges. And there's kind of this question about what's the best way for a newer player, for a more social player to build up their skill, build up their confidence to get ready to participate in these big events. And I feel like it's, as you all suggested down there in Florida, it's these type of events where you can bring in some bigger players, but then also welcome in kind of the newer players so they can test their mettle. And I don't know.
Yeah, it sounds like it's a little bit of a stepping stone between somebody who is used to going like maybe to like their weekly league, that maybe has a dozen or 20 or 30 players. But there's a big jump between a weekly league and like a Disney Lorcana challenge where there's 1,000 or 2,000 people in the room. And that can be really intimidating for someone who is maybe more of a social player and is dipping their toes into competitive or is brand new to TCGs. And so having an event like this, like you guys are talking about, sounds really fantastic in a way to give players exposure to a big tournament like that.
Yeah. And also too, like we find that what we try to implement a lot is implementing some of these 6 to 8 man pods during the event. It takes just one little mistake to pretty much determine the outcome of the entirety of the event. So if you don't do well and capitalize on the beginning, we offer pods to where there's side events, and the side event is a smaller field, but the winner wins an enchanted. Right, so you're still and a box. And what was the price point we did again? It was like $15, $10, something like that.
15, yeah. So $15 entry, 6 to 8 man pods, single elimination brackets, and they get to play for a box of the newest set and a random enchanted.
Yeah.
So, I mean, like, I'm gonna be honest, I need to move to Florida.
Right.
And that's the point, right? So we're trying to attract not only a lot of, like I said, the casual Lumineers, but a lot of the pro players as well. And if you bring everyone together, we're all competing consistently, and it's giving everyone that exposure, right? So that's our goal, and we just want to bring everyone together, have a good time. I mean, for what it's worth, it is Disney, right? And we just want smiles and fun and everyone to come together. So
yeah, and Rebecca said it best. What we really do try to do is get people ready to go to those DLCs and those next level tournaments, and we try to get in those named players like Colby from the Forbidden Mountains come down from our last 2, and big shout out to him, appreciate it. And we just try to get him ready. We have floor judges, and we structure it very, very similar to the Lorcana challenges, the DLCs, just so that when they go there, it's not unfamiliar to them, and they have that confidence that they normally wouldn't have if it's your first time. I remember my first one. I went to Texas, and I was like, oh my god.
It's a lot.
How often do you all do events like this? This was not your first one, or was it?
Well, this is actually our third big event. So
nice.
Yeah, so we actually only been open in business for about 6 months. Right now we have about 3,200 square feet. We could accommodate about 100 to 120 players, and the reason why we expanded is because our first big tournament was on 626 for a Stitch Day.
Stitch Day, baby.
Big tournament, ironically, yeah.
Boy, right here.
I was gonna say, look at
Yep. And funny enough, that day when we opened, we only had 1,600 square feet. It was only about 30 entries. We had a 25-man waiting list. That next day, I called my landlord. I said, "We need this. We need the unit next door. Let me sign it now. I don't care. Let's do it." And we expanded right away.
Nice.
I was about to say, so like, I assume like the expansion has gone well. I mean, because you're still doing it. But are you finding a lot of retention or like returning players after these big events? Like, are your weeklies getting bigger because of these things?
Absolutely, thanks to this man right here. Right, of course, with our entire team, right? But Stefan right here and his group. I mean, just like everyone else in the community, we are nothing without the Illumineers and our team, right? Without them, they're like the gas to our engine. But this man right here is a huge contributor. Shout out to you guys, man. We highly appreciate it.
No problem. No, it's been a pleasure working with you guys. And when our group originally started, South Florida Lorcana Network, we were a small group and just a lot of passion for the game, right? And we would go to our stores in the area, and we would go for a local league, right, to go for the pins and promos, and a lot of the experience we got at those stores is just very very repetitive, like just every week. But we continue to meet new players, and there was a lot left to be desired at some of these places. So we got together and we were like, let's see if we can try to do something different when it comes to these tournaments or just in community engagement in general. With a search within a few weeks, we ended up running into Devin at SSG. We shared a vision we had for the community. He was 100% on board, and from there we thought of how do we introduce SSG, right? How do we get their name out to the Lorcana community down here? And we decided to collaborate together on the first tournament, and we capped. Right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we capped.
Yeah, we've capped every time.
Ironically, we actually had to. We have an affiliate next door. We actually had asked to share some space with us. We have a tea bar next door, and they were welcoming. Literally the same day, we're like, we need more space, and they accommodated for us, right? So it was
it was great because if you were, I think all the lower tables were there.
Yeah.
But it didn't feel so bad because you could just have tea with your opponent while playing.
But not only does that benefit you, it benefits them. So you're just the more people you bring in, the better community you're having. And I think that's awesome. Legitimately, when we saw the prize support, there were 3 or 4 of us on Labyrinth that were like, man, if this wasn't in between Charlie's and championships, like we would definitely be doing this. So I look forward to your next event. I'm definitely going to try to make.
Logan, you got to let us fly you out. You got to come down, and we got to show you the spot.
Oh, dude,
we don't have to like everyone to come, but everyone's more than welcome to come. But
trust me, like the next one, as long as it's not smack dab in the middle of 2 big things I'm already traveling for, I plan on actually making it.
Yeah, ironically, these events, and we apologize to the whole community. I'm very fair at the moment, like let's do it, push, and but because of the outcome, and we have the warm and fuzzies, especially for this community. Oh, wait till 2025. I mean, we have an event February 8th. Stay tuned. If you thought this event was big and crazy,
February 8th.
You guys have nothing.
February 8th.
February
Lock
8th.
it in.
Okay.
Stay tuned.
Hey,
Wow.
Yeah,
Add it to the
and-
calendar.
I can't
and-
go to Australia, so it looks like I'm going to
Right.
Florida.
and we have big plans for the off season, guys.
Yeah.
Major plans. And we're gonna try to accommodate, to allow a lot of Illuminators to come throughout the whole year, right? Obviously, travel is tough, but we're gonna do our best to see how we can explore the option of getting anyone out here to experience what we have over here. So,
So y'all have been doing such an amazing job of like building this community in your area. Do y'all have any advice to maybe other LGSs around the country who are really wanting to create this amazing community in their local area?
the best advice I can give, and I know, I asked myself what my why is, and my why when I opened up this business, honestly, is to provide a space and grow a community, right? In order to do that, I have to make sure, obviously, my team eats and we provide as much for the resources for the store. But at the end of the day, this is a game, and I just suggest give out as much resources and prize support to the community, right? It's sometimes, and I know it's tough as a business, but the players have to come first, and that's just the bottom line, right? Like, you got to worry about accommodating the community and not really worry about profiting. And I'm just gonna say very transparent, and I don't know what else to say, but that's how I would grow the community, is just focus on being friendly and focus on good positive energy and vibes, and don't worry about anything else other than that. And the price support, I would say resources. That's it.
Yeah. And my advice would be like what Devin said, and to make it fun.
Make it fun.
Just make it fun. Have a 626 day, right? Figure out some characters' birthdays, right?
Yeah.
Figure out some special days. Throw in an enchanted card, and just let people have fun. Do some raffles, fun stuff. Disney's been around for a long time. Disney's not going anywhere, and there's so much stuff that you can incorporate into this that you can really just have everybody come out and just play their heart out and have a great time.
Yeah, and if I could just share my perspective from as a player and kind of a leader for this community, just kind of circling back to what I said before about some other LGSs, it's like for them, the interactions can be very mundane sometimes, it's weeklies, right? But, when I first switched my locals to come to SSG, and the turnouts were okay. I mean, it was like on Tuesdays, but good like 8 to 10 people would come, and they would still, no matter what, big or small, the prize support for first place was a box, right? Just a box alone, and then top cut gets pricing too, but like that caught people's interest. And then Devin and his staff, they're really interested in learning more about the players themselves too. So like by the time you've been here for the third place, like Devin already knows your birthday, right? Your favorite color, you walk in and you honestly feel like family, right? And it's like it's a no-brainer. Like on Tuesdays and if I can make Fridays sometimes, like I'm just so antsy to be at the store to play, and it's like that feeling is just you can't even if you scrub out in X2 and I'm hanging out with everybody and just having a good time, and it's such a great feeling.
Yeah,
that's amazing.
Yeah.
Well done, y'all.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Yeah.
Make sure you stay in touch. Like as we get those other events coming up, we'd love to announce them here if we can, and maybe have you all back to kind of build up some hype for that. And we're always interested in talking about the results of your events, because it sounds like you're bringing out a big field, and not only a big field, but some very talented players, including several North American Continental Championship competitive. I am going to pull up the meta in a second. Before we do that, Aaron, you want to pull up that number generator real quick?
Oh yeah.
We're not going to do the full giveaway yet. We're going to give people a little more time to enter.
How many people do we have in?
We have 73.
Okay.
Yeah. So 73 people. We're going to do a small giveaway. We're going to grab something from our collection here. we have one of the Moana promos here from the movie, but this one's from Italy. It's in Italian and it has the name Viana instead of Moana. I'm not.
That's great.
But yeah, so it's pretty cool. So we're gonna give that away to one of our entrants here from our own collection. And Aaron, what number? Hit it 3 times. What do we got?
1, 2, 3. Number 65.
Number 65, which would be number 66 on this sheet because the header, and that would be David Meads. David Meads, if you're here. I have your email address. I'll send you a note.
Congratulations,
David. Hello, David.
And yeah, so there we go. So that's fun. All right. So with that, let's jump in. Everybody still has some time. I'll post the link again in a second. Everybody still has some time to enter that giveaway for this Enchanted Stitch from Southside Gaming here. We'll give a look at it again. Look at that thing. That's so cool.
So
Y'all
cool.
are so sweet to have donated that to the show.
Yeah.
Yeah, we just want to give a big shout out and a thank you to Peter Raimundo and his wife. 2 of the most amazing people that you'll ever meet. Thank you again, guys, for coming out and helping us do this and making this event great for the players.
We're super grateful.
Dorothy is Peter's wife. Dorothy is like this mother hen who just like wanders around and makes sure everybody is doing okay. She is just this joy and light at these events, and she always wears this super adorable like Stitch.
Yes. Oh my goodness.
So I didn't know Peter was like at your event in person, and I was looking at photos this weekend, and I was like, "Wait a second, that's Dorothy!" And then I was like, I just recognized the hat.
Such a sweetheart. I mean, the smile lights up the room, especially with Peter too. I mean, if anyone has the ability to just have an interaction with both of them, I highly suggest them. If you go to any type of event and they're there, please just go up to them and just share a story of maybe one of the characters that he helped develop. And oh man, he loves hearing that. And again, thank you guys so much, Peter, and you guys are just the sweethearts.
You know, the next time I'm seeing him, I'm getting Rubik's Cubes lessons.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Ask Peter about his Rubik's Cubes, please.
Yeah.
Please. Very interesting.
Wrote a book.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
So, my love, I don't want to call you out, but you most definitely drew from the last time we did a giveaway.
No.
Yeah, you did.
Oh no.
No.
Wrong spreadsheet.
No. 66.
Okay.
He's double checking himself to make sure he's not crazy.
Yeah, look, like this person. Sorry, y'all. We're dealing with technical difficulties. Look,
Right.
That person entered it in October.
Oh, okay. I see the issue. Hold on. Okay. No, I'll fix it.
I was like, I don't think David's here.
Yeah. All right. As we go into our next topic here, I'll fix it and we'll announce another winner. So that'll be fun.
Of the Moana card.
Of the Moana card, yeah.
So-
A real winner this time.
The real winner.
Sorry,
I was sitting here and I was like, I think that he pulled it from
The
the
real-
last stream.
No,
Anyway,
I got it. We'll figure this out.
Okay.
Anyway, I see the issue. All right, we'll fix this. We're professionals. Okay, with that, as I fix that, let's shift over. Let's get a little competitive here. So we talked all about what a wonderful event this is, and we also I did an amazing segue that ended up not segueing to talk about the players who showed up. This was the meta breakdown. What did you all see? And this is for anybody who watched, because I know Logan, you kind of did a deep dive into this and watched some of the matches and looked at some of the deck lists. And then down at Southside, you all saw this. What did you all see in the meta there? What showed up, and was it what you expected?
So for us, I mean, talking to a couple of sponsored players and whatnot, especially leading into the Continentals, this was a good opportunity to maybe test some theories before the event. So, we assumed some usual suspects like Amethyst Ruby, Ruby Sapphire, Amber Steel. And then, it was really neat to see Blurple in the finals.
That was our undefeated deck going in.
Only undefeated going into Top Cut. And, even, and it's funny too, because even looking at, because I was actually running the production for the event. So watching both tables 1 and 2, it was really nice to see some of the different archetypes. So like me personally, I'm a huge Amber Steel fan. And like I saw traditional songs on stream. I saw Diggy Diggy Hole. I saw it like, you know, even the Mark in the top cut. I really enjoyed his list. And I was really happy to see to have him on stream and see kind of how he piloted it. So I might take an idea or two for that one for this week's locals. So
yeah, no, it was, we'll look at the list in a moment. The Blurple list was super amusing to me. Blurple always seems, people who love Blurple, and they love to talk about Blurple.
They also love to say Blurple.
And they also
I feel
love
like
to
you
say
say
Blurple.
Who doesn't?
And it always shows up. Like it always shows up at events. It always shows up in small numbers. And it feels like one or two always like squeeze into the top 8. Yeah, so it's really fun seeing it perform well here. Speaking of that, we can take a look here at the top cut. This is not as pretty as the chart before, but it does show the conversion rate into the top cut here. And you see Blurple there with a phenomenal performance score with 1 out of the 2 that showed up in the field making the top 8 for a 50% conversion rate, which is
woohoo!
You get when you have small sample sizes. But,
that's it, guys. Bring Blurple. That is the one that's going to get you.
Yeah, right?
You heard it here from
If you play
Zinless.
Blurple, you
Just
have
look, just look at those numbers.
Yeah.
Nothing else is even close.
Right?
Oh, man.
50% chance of making it into the top 8 if you play Blurple. That's what the math says.
Exactly what that means.
I don't know. Logan, what do you see looking at this meta breakdown?
I mean, it was. I was pretty unsurprised by the way it was sliced out, to be honest. I assumed that after Charlie's collectible show, we would see an uptick in Amber Steel, and we did. I think Amber Steel is kind of the deck to beat at the moment. So anybody in the room that was bringing things, I was more so trying to target that. So yeah, I wasn't really surprised by the pie chart. It makes my heart sad that Emerald Amethyst has to kind of take a backseat when Amber Steel starts to do well, because it's just a bad matchup in my opinion. You can talk to Artifacts and probably hear a different opinion, but because we have talks all the time. We talked this past week like, all right, how can Emerald Amethyst beat Amber Steel on the draw? And we're just like, you have to get lucky, and then pray a little harder after you get lucky.
Faith, trust, and pixie dust.
But actually, but no, it's just kind of showing us that the American meta scene is, I don't know if solved or locked in really, because we are seeing a lot of different lists. There are 6 to 8 ways to build Amber Steel. There are tons of different variations of Ruby Sapphire going around, and Amethyst Steel itself is just kind of like a toolbox package in general. You're playing the 2 best supporting inks in the game with so many tools. You're just trying to pick what you're targeting with it. So I don't know. I think the meta's in a really healthy spot, to be honest. I think it's good that we're in a place that we have a lot of counter tools for pretty well anything that could be on top. And I don't think there's anything that's definitively just the best right now because of how many tools we have.
Yeah.
With where we are in the meta right now and kind of seeing this, do you think this is going to be really similar to what is going to show up at the North American Championships?
I absolutely think this is more or less what we're going to see represented. Obviously, you know, with the Sapphire Amethyst deck making top 8, there are going to be some people that just kind of get the bracket that makes what they're running work. This, unfortunately or fortunately, we are playing a card game. You need a non-zero amount of luck to do as well as you do. But you could just play Sapphire Amethyst and run in all your good matchups all day, and everybody's like, why are you playing this deck? And you're just like, well, this right for this situation right here. So I like, to your point, I think we're just in a very healthy spot meta wise. I don't think there's really objectively a wrong choice for anything you want to bring. I think there are genuinely 6 to 8 color pairings that could realistically win Continentals, and I don't know that we've really been in a state in the game other than maybe set 3 where that was true.
Ruby Steel it is.
Ruby Steel it is. Yeah.
I'm waiting for that day. I'm still
I
waiting.
am too.
Man, Ruby Steel.
I remember before the
Come
game came
on.
out, we were on a podcast and somebody asked me what color I most wanted to play, and I said I wanted to play Ruby Steel, and I like literally got laughed at on the podcast. And they're like, "That's not competitive." And I'm like, one day it will be.
Yeah. One day Ruby.
One
It's gonna have this
day.
moment.
That's gonna be the deck to beat one day.
Yep.
One day. It'll happen for Ruby Steel before it happens for Sapphire Amber. That's for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah, it's funny. Sapphire Amber. That's the princess deck. It's waiting to break out. No, I agree with everybody.
She's gonna
Said
come out and she's gonna be like, ah. When you open your deck box.
Yeah, I agree with everything everybody said. The meta is in a really healthy place, and I do love these charts are now deceptive. Because 2-3 sets ago, when you looked at a chart like this, you generally knew that each piece of the pie was generally a similar deck with a few different things mixed in, a few different tech cards. You may have like 2 versions of the deck in there, but now there's so much diversity within each one of these slices. I do think Logan, we were talking beforehand, I will highlight your observation as well again. Like the biggest change between this and CCS, which I'll pull up right now, if you compare the two, it's very, very similar. The one big difference is the Emerald Amethyst share and the Emerald Steel or the Amethyst Steel share have kind of flip-flopped. And I do think you're right that the rise of Amber Steel is popularized by a lot of people. But
y'all should have heard Liam and Logan arguing about these 2 charts before the
Arguing,
show. Discussing these 2 charts before the show.
But yeah, no, what it was like Logan saying these are basically the
15
same,
minutes.
and me trying to find like differences. And like,
He's like, no, this is different. Logan's like, no, that's the same
that's
number.
The same. Yeah, that's definitely the same.
Well, if you look at both of them, the difference is CCS had roughly 220 entrants, and Southside had you guys said like 95.
Yeah, after we dropped some no shows, it ended up 94, 95.
So yeah, if you take the numbers from CCS and you take the numbers from Southside and you just kind of adjust for the amount of players in the room, it's almost the exact same pie, which I thought was really interesting.
Yeah.
But to Liam's point, the difference being Amber Steel was just a bigger part of the meta share in Southside, and I'm not at all surprised by that because DeCandio being DeCandio, just continuing to win everything. We were making the joke at CCS, like, okay, cool. I guess Charlie is just now DeCandio's tournament. And
yeah. And we'll look at the lists in a minute. But one of the reasons I think Emerald Amethyst did flip flop, like we were talking about, is DeCandio just crushing people. But one of the things that makes Amber Steel such a challenge to play against right now for Emerald Amethyst, it was always a challenging matchup. But now there's a big difference, I think, playing against a traditional Steel Song deck, which people like Frank Karsten are still running, and the new like aggressive Amber Steel lists that you have, which are not Steel Song lists at all. They're something different. They're very low to the ground. They're very aggressive. And so as an Emerald Amethyst player, you're already on the back foot, but having to figure out in match 1 which one of these variants you're up against, and being able to adjust your gameplay right away, it's a challenge. And so I'm not surprised that Emerald Amethyst is dropping off a little bit in popularity given the rise of Amber Steel. Anyway, let's look at this. But since there's silence, we had some questions in the chat earlier about the Blurple list. Let's look at the Blurple list here.
There it is.
Yeah, this is Jack's list. This is it.
So if I could intervene really quick,
Please do.
Jack is actually one of our sponsored players here at SSG.
Yep.
Well, great showing here with Blurple. Jack is to know. We'll have to have him on talk about his list. So I'm going to admit I was traveling this weekend and didn't get to watch any of the coverage yet. I'm excited to go back and do it, but I didn't get to see this deck in action. Why did it do so well? You said it was undefeated in the Swiss rounds.
Yeah.
Yes, that's correct. Undefeated.
Yeah. So what's this deck doing, and why did it perform so well?
Well, just kind of like Logan said before about being in the right pod. I just think Jack probably had some really good matchups, and also just to give massive credit to Jack. Jack is a really strong Lorcana player that has the innate ability to really bounce between many deck types. So like he was on this deck for I believe like a week and a half and was able to perform this well. But when I first met Jack, he was on Blue Steel, then ended up on bouncing between Amber Emerald and Emerald Steel a little bit. So again, just like really versatile, just in his skill set. So he had great feedback from Mikey from Freedom Gaming, who we all know is a pretty strong Blurple player in our area too. So just had the great resources, confidence, and the backing by a great store. Really put him in the right spot to perform well, and he did. And he was, nervous throughout the day because of how new he was to deck in a big tournament. But it's just having him on stream and then talking to him after matches, like it was just phenomenal. Like the energy was amazing.
Yeah, and he switched actually from Amethyst Emerald, knowing that the Candio's showing was going to change the field. And I commentated a couple of the games, and what the deck does really well is it maintains board control while still filling up your hand. And Jack at all times really dominated the board, and he just still had 4 or 5 cards in hand, and there was no point in which he was just digging for resources, and the hard removal of the Hades and Let It Go and looping the Hades with the bounce package.
Yeah, absolutely.
It really, like, people just were not ready for that. And it came out to be really strong, and he made some amazing plays with Elsa Fifth Spirit and Spirit of Winter, where he would.
Did you catch the one play that he did where, if I remember correctly, he played the Fifth Spirit, tapped down a character, banished it, and then shifted the Spirit of Winter on top of it to tap down and freeze other characters? Like it was just,
and then bounce it to say, "Hey, I'm gonna do it again."
Yeah, and what we're gonna do is we're gonna find that footage and we'll upload it on our YouTube as well, because just by being able to identify a play like that, especially with a deck that it was just there wasn't much in the field. I mean, that exposure, it's great that everyone can see it, right? So we're gonna go ahead and cut that out for you guys, and we're gonna put it on our YouTube channel.
Excellent. Make sure we get that. I got to make sure I have the link to your YouTube channel to put it in the show notes after this so people can connect to that.
Okay.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, some a lot of comments here in the chat about Blurple, and then some folks saying definitely go back and watch the VOD. Not only is the deck great, but the commentary helps a lot. So, I mean, it's always fun when you see these decks perform. They're not meta decks, but they're definitely like B tier meta decks. But Blurple, if it's piloted by the right person, we always see 1 or 2 break in.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. I mean, the talk down here pretty much has always been Blurple is a really tough deck to pilot, but those who know how to pilot it well into the field, the meta right now, it's a great deck, and if the right players on it, I wouldn't be surprised to see a couple of these in some of those LCQ pods that are they'll get the Continentals for sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So let's move over to another deck. We talked a little about Blurple, but then we also switched over and talked a lot about Amber Steel. This is a deck that was in the top. Didn't make the top 8.
Oh man,
yeah.
I remember that first
top
event.
4.
Yeah, top 4.
Yep.
Yeah, fantastic deck. So this is a similar flavor to the deck that we saw DeCandio run in CCS. A few differences. I don't think DeCandio ran the Mickey Mouses. I also don't think Blue was in his list. And Sven, I don't think was there either. A couple other options there. I think Happy was in there, lower to the ground in place of Mickey Mouse, if I remember correctly. Chat, correct me if I'm wrong. But other than that, this is a very aggressive Amber Steel list. It's not, and if anybody watched the stream with DeCandio after CCS, I habitually refer to Amber Steel decks as Steel Song decks, and he was very quick to correct me and say, this is not, I would not call this Steel Song. This is not.
If you have less than 16 songs, you are no longer a Steel Song deck.
If you don't see Wheel, it's not Steel Stall.
Right? or any of the 5 ships. Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway, but go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh, I said even Ariel. If you're missing Ariel, I mean,
That's true.
Yeah.
Also,
No Ariel.
no Dwarven Mine here, which was a big part of DeCandio's deck as well. So thanks, Stephen, for highlighting that. So I don't know what would we call this? Is this like aggro?
Yeah, this
You
is
would call it Amber Steel.
Amber Steel aggro. I want one other perspective on this because he was spitballing names in the chat here. Brandon, what would you call this?
Hey,
I don't know, man.
look what it
Yeah,
is.
hey everybody. Amber Steel Aggro is just pretty awesome, you know. I was joking around saying Amgro Steel. I don't know. The name doesn't really work. We'll have to work on it
Doesn't
a little
work.
bit. But I love this addition to Amber Steel. I feel like for a long time, Lorcana has kind of struggled to have a relatively consistent aggro deck like in the meta. You know, we've always had like Amber Amethyst, and for a while we had like Emerald Amber too. That was Emerald Amber. It was pretty aggressive, and sometimes those worked, but a lot of times they're pretty inconsistent and kind of their weakness was against steel, right? So it's kind of funny that we have like this Amber Steel aggro variant of a deck come up, and I don't know. I find it kind of exciting to see something like that, and it's also I'm excited that we're getting to a point in this game where I can sit down across from somebody and see them, I don't know, ink a Rapunzel on turn 1 or something, and then like still not be entirely sure, you know, like if they're which version of the ink pairing they would be playing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
that's like a cool thing, but
So much
also
variety.
sometimes as a competitor, like can also be scary because you like right now you just don't know until you actually get 6 to 8 turns in like what they're trying to do. I mean, even at Charlie's Collectible Show, there were 5 Amber Steel lists in top 8, and each one I think had like a difference of 10 to 15 cards. And we're just trying to do for different things. So there's just so much you can do right now to catch people off guard, and so many things that like work and are powerful. So again, I'm personally happy that like we're at this kind of a good point in the meta. It just kind of makes it harder as a serious competitor to nail down what you want to bring because you're always afraid of something right now.
yeah.
I think it makes
It does really seem with this this deck in particular that like Calhoun makes it possible, right? That Calhoun card is so good, and I love seeing that Calhoun card in decks like this, and people were real hyped about it from the beginning for good reason, I think.
It's such a good card. I underestimated Calhoun until about 3 weeks ago. I went to play in a 1K here in town, and I played twice against Amethyst Steel lists, and she's brutal. Very, very, I don't know, very oppressive card. Yeah. It is this list, you know, again, Steve pointing out that this just doesn't run the mines like DeCandio does. So probably even more aggressive than DeCandio's list, where the mines, I think, skew a little bit more towards control. And here we see the blues mixed in, making this probably a bit more aggressive. And without the mines, there's no need for Happy there as the earlier drop. So you do have the Mickeys with resist as well. Yeah, I mean, I didn't get to watch this play, but this must be fast.
Yeah, this one definitely did move very fast, and I think, you know, with Ruby Sapphire being probably one of the toughest matchups for that one, that Mark's list just shows that it really doesn't care. It even puts cards like Kita, right? He like Kita could really hurt you, you know. But you look, and he's got Pete and Smee. And I think there was another one, or like Pluto and Lawrence if they're undamaged. But other than that, everything else is going to get wiped by Big Sisu anyway. So, you know what? Just all gas, no brakes before turn 8.
Yeah.
I mean, but actually, though.
Agreed. And just to highlight what we've all been talking about, you know, the differences in the decks within these particular, you know, these color pie slices here. Here we have another Amber Steel list that made the top 8. This one by Freddie Rivera. And this is, you know, I was talking with Logan about this a little beforehand, not necessarily like the quintessential Steel song that we've seen, but it is this is Steel Song. We have the Ariels in there. We have Gastons as early singers. We do have the Robin Hood shift in there, as well as a whole new world mixed in, and then the extra songs with Along Came Zeus. So I haven't checked this to like Frank Carston's ratios yet on songs. I know he runs 18. This runs 16, it looks like.
16.
So not quite like his level of Steel Song, but still, this is more of a traditional Steel Song list. And again, making the top 8.
Right. So I do want to give a quick shout out over here. So Freddie Rivera is actually part of our team, Team Illuminati. And after his top cut results, I have finally surrendered to him as our Amber Steel captain. Like, we have constant arguments in Discord about how Amber Steel should be built, and Freddie is just built different when it comes to Amber Steel, and he's just always he's thinking outside the box. You know, like a couple of unique inclusions here is like the Gantu. You know, he does the shift line with Robin Hood, and also includes Gaston. So for his red blue matchups, and it's just, you know, he's honestly an artist at this deck. And you know, now I will have to admit on stream that I will be getting my Steel Song. And yeah, huge shout out, because he's a great teammate, and finally was able to make it out to one of these events and did such a fantastic showing.
Well, I'm excited to go back and watch any of the matches on stream, because, yeah, I mean, to your point, some spicy spots in here with the Gantu and everything. But looking at the list, I mean, it's very, very similar to a list we would have seen last set. I mean, the only 3 additions we have are the Lilos, the Plutos, and then the Gantu. And even then, that's only 7 cards total. So, you know, on the one hand, it takes a lot of talent and initiative to build a brand new deck like Zach Bivens or DeCandio and bring it into a big match. But it also takes some guts to just dust off your deck from the last set, maybe change 2 cards like, you know, Kendall Burdett for a CCS, and bring in your last set deck and be like, I'm just going to win it with, you know, with the best deck from last set, because it's still the best deck. So.
Yeah.
Anyway, 64 cards, George says. Someone call.
If you think about it, Amber Steel is probably one of the only decks that can really get away with going over 60 cards, just thanks to like Whole New World. So
absolutely not. Ruby Sapphire can run 70 some odd.
Yeah.
You've clearly
Sapphire.
never looked at a Hamza list and counted it.
Counted it.
Yeah,
man runs like 80 cards at DLCs and somehow makes it 2 every time. And then Sailor and I are just sitting in the corner like, I guess we're just bad at the game.
That Sailor makes me feel that way quite a bit. All right, let me figure out what I'm doing here. Let's look at one more deck, and then we'll, you know, before we close out, we'll take any requests. But I do feel like we've been dancing around the top 8 here. We've been giving short shrift to our winner. We should probably talk about the winning deck. So let's do that. But one of the reasons, you know, we're not talking about the winner deck right away is because it's Ruby Amethyst again.
Good old faithful. All reliable.
That's the first deck I ever played, I believe.
Yeah.
It was my first deck.
Yeah.
He did have a few like different choices, like with the Moana, the one of Sisu, the one of Elsa.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Moana into Flynn Rider was really
Powerful.
surprising on stream. You know, you're thinking, okay, what deck is in the finals, and which one plays Moana? And then you see Flynn, and you're like, what's going on here? And then you finally see an Amethyst card turn 3, and it's like, it's Ruby Amethyst.
It's a little spicy. It is a little spicy.
Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I think like some of those cards did catch people off guard when I was commentating. Like, you know, Jack, the Blurple player, he was absolutely surprised when the Elsa came down against him, and he was like, "Whoa, what? You have that in your deck?" So some of those choices are really like meta picks to just kind of like surprise people and kind of counter what he expected to see.
Yeah, I mean, some of the things I noticed, and I'd be interested to get everybody else's take here too. I do love that Moana. I think we're used to thinking of Flynn as being activated by the turn 3 play. whether it's a Sisu or you then drop a snake on turn 3 after you play the Flynn Rider on 2. But here we have the Flynn Rider set up by turn 1, so it could be hitting on your turn, coming into you turn 3 if you're on the play, and so it's an interesting choice. I like that. I think a lot of people have, because of the rise of, we first saw when Ursula appeared, Deceiver, but these decks started skewing heavily into Sisus as the mass removal, but back here to 1 Sisu with 3 Be Prepareds. We do have the 2-2 split with the ladies on or near chairs.
Near chair ladies, don't disrespect them like that.
And I also love, Belle, the Mystic Belle there. I forget her full title. We've seen her worked into a lot of Amethyst lists here, doing some work, getting around resist here, dealing with cards like Calhoun. But here we see 2 of her as well. But other than that, it's other than mixing in the Elsa, the shift back towards Be Prepareds, the Moana, and the Belle, it's a pretty standard list. And based on this winning and the share of the meta that we saw at the last 2 big tournaments that we showed, it seems that this color combo is once again well positioned going into the North American National Continental Championship. What do y'all think?
This is very, very similar to the list that won European the European Championship, to be honest. He was also on Moana, if I'm not mistaken. Really, the big difference here is the Elsa shift line, and that's about the big difference. But that one card by itself can just do so much. You just don't see her in Ruby Amethyst a lot right now. So especially if you get her as a shift line or actually able to play her on 6, most people just wouldn't think to play around that, because what Ruby Amethyst list runs another 8-drop uninkable that's not Sisu shift.
Yeah. I know.
European Championship winner did not have that Moana card.
He did not? Okay.
In the deck.
Then I am incorrect.
No, he didn't. And I love that addition, though, like you were saying, Liam, like you're setting up your Flynn on your turn 1 so that on turn 3 you're gaining that lore. And Moana, I think she's a really good card. Yeah. Underrated.
Yeah, very powerful into Ruby Sapphire. She can start questing and just ticking up.
Mm-hmm.
But not even just into Ruby Sapphire. Like you think, like what can answer that Moana on turn 2 once it starts questing? Because you definitely don't want to even brawl on it
and survive.
So like I throw something into it, and sure, like we're both getting banished, but like I don't get to establish. And let's say I hit Flynn, right? I deal with Moana, and guess what's coming right afterwards? A Sisu. So I think it was a really interesting choice, and it definitely worked out for him in a lot of matchups.
She's one of the cards that just kind of breaks Ruby mirrors, but then you run into Steel, and you're just like, oh, look, another thing that dies. Let the storm rage on.
Yeah.
Oh, they have Cinderella. Turn 1.
Right.
Brutal. On the upside, she does deal with Calhoun. There's that.
It also kind of forces, like in an Amber Steel matchup, right? If you don't have the Storm, you're kind of forced to play out your Smee or your Calhoun or whatever on turn 2. If they have the Flynn, just to turn the Flynn off for the turn and not let them get ahead.
Yeah. No, it's Ruby Amethyst.
It's fun. It's Ruby Amethyst.
Old reliable, but great job to the winner here. Casey, congratulations. Well done. And I'm sure we're going to see this well represented here in a couple of weeks. Anything else you all want to?
I also love that someone said that Sisu, the 3-drop Sisu, is kind of shaped like a chair lady. Like the way that she's like. The way that she's drawn the art, she goes in the chair lady category. I would agree with that.
I'm sure that was in the artist brief for sure. Yeah,
probably yes.
Yeah, we need a third in this.
Make sure she is chair shaped.
Somehow,
we need more Ruby cards that have chair shaped icons. Let's
resemble chairs.
Yes,
that is true. I'm gonna. take a second here to announce while you all consider if there's any other decks we should pull up before we sign off for the evening. I do want to announce the correct winner of our giveaway. If you are still here, Casey Duncan, Pack Blue 98, you are the actual winner of the Moana card.
Hold
on, we'll just...
Too soon.
Too soon.
Yeah. So Casey Duncan, we'll send you an email. If you're still here, you've won the Moana. So that's cool. Let me take a look real quick. I maybe want to pull up one more before we call it. Maybe one of these. Actually, well, I would pull up the wheel. I mean, we know Jafar Wheel. We just mentioned Jafar Wheel. Jafar Wheel was in the top 8. It was awesome. All right, let's look at a different.
The wheel.
I'm not giving short shrift to that deck. Like, it's very good. Super excited to see it in the top 8, but we've seen it quite a bit. We know what that is. Let's take a look though at this other Amethyst Steel list because it's fun. Amethyst Steel is fun, and it's around, and it's gonna be around.
So Dylan actually won our last event. He was the winner of the.
It was the Azurite,
the first event,
the release tournament.
The release tournament.
Yes.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
Wow.
so it changed the list up a bit. The first list was like Blue Fairy package, leaned in on the new Tinkerbell, the evasive one, and the Amazon Fairy, I believe. So he kind of like went back to the drawing board, it looks like here, and kind of changed what he needed. But still an amazing showing by this deck.
I think this deck is really well positioned, to be honest. I genuinely think that its only real bad matchup is Ruby Sapphire. And even then, it can still get up under Ruby Sapphire and just like make it a non-game very easily. Amethyst cards right now are just so strong. Genie is Genie is a menace.
Yeah, like Logan mentioned earlier in the stream that Amber Steel is kind of the deck to beat, and like I agree with that. But I also think that like Amethyst is the ink to beat, right? Like if going into Continentals, you got to be able to beat Amber Steel, but there's going to be so much Amethyst there because Amethyst is just so strong. Like we've seen Amethyst Steel specifically sort of creep up in the meta as the set's gone on, as we've seen Amethyst Emerald come down a little bit, but they've really just kind of like switched places in a way. It's really interesting.
Yeah, no, funny you mentioning Amethyst being well positioned. Like when you look at this and you look at the last list, we saw the Ruby Amethyst deck. Take a look at the core of this deck because it is the Amethyst cards are almost exactly the same. The Amethyst build, 1 or 2 omissions. We do have the White Roses here, which we do see run more often in the Emerald Amethyst lists. But other than that, I mean, the core of Amethyst is kind of the same. All you're doing is subbing in, a few more control cards. Multiple more control cards. And one thing I also mentioned here, I mentioned I ran into a buzzsaw of Amethyst Steel a couple weeks ago. The card that probably set me back the most as I was trying to pilot my Emerald Amethyst deck was Fire the Cannons, believe it or not. That card being worked in to take out, my turn 1, turn 2 plays and kind of mess up my aggression was very painful. So it's fun seeing it worked in here, and I'm not surprised this deck did well.
No, this is honestly, this is a ink combination that we've been testing in lab. Like genuinely, I believe this is very well positioned in the meta and has a lot of legs. You're playing 2 of the best ink colors in the game. But with that, there's just a lot of tech choices you can make. So you kind of have to choose what you're going to target. And right now, because we are in such a broad field, it's kind of hard to pick what you want to target because when you gain points here, you lose points here, and on the wheel goes.
Yeah.
Was it you who said it earlier that this Amethyst Steel deck it's really like a toolbox deck is what it is, right? And I would imagine as a pilot of this deck, there's just so many different choices that you could make, and each of those small little decisions that you make is going to make or break it for you.
Absolutely. This is the kind of deck that you can ink a card on turn 3 and lose the game because it was just the wrong decision.
Yeah. Anyway, it's a fun deck. All right, I'm gonna pull up one more deck before we call it, because I want to give, because we had a shout out in the chat, and I want to give a chance, the last chance for people to enter. Look, there are 120 of you watching on Twitter. Here's the deal. For some reason, Restream won't let me send the link to the Twitter chat. I'm going to try to fix that. But if you're watching on Twitter, you have another couple minutes to get your butt over to YouTube, get the link from the chat.
And, let me see if I can pull it up.
All right, let's see if we can get it over there, because we got 120 people watching over there. And
let me see if I can pull it up on YouTube, and then I'll tune into the Twitter, and then I'll drop it.
So we're going to get it over to you all. But you have about 4 or 5 minutes before we wrap up and do the drawing for this enchanted gift card. Last chance for everyone to enter. But let's take a look at the runner-up deck. We had some folks talking about it in the chat, and you know, a couple wins. You know, one.
It's a no dime.
Who ever heard of such a thing?
Blasphemous.
Let's text Taylor and get him in here. We need his opinion on this. Here it is. Ruby Sapphire, piloted by Joey Odoveggio. Did I say that right? Odoveggio?
Yeah, Joey is actually part of Freedom Gaming, another team that plays here in locals. Big shout out to Joey and the innovation on this deck that he just piloted really well. Not having dime, it's funny when decks make the transition to not including, like, because you think about, like, we played decks that had 4 be prepares, and then we got to a place where we're playing 3 and 2, and sometimes your opponent assumes, like, great, so we're heading into turn 7. I feel like you have all 4 B preps in hand. I'm absolutely petrified to play out my board, and just realizing, like, you're diversifying your threats across, things like Sisu and stuff like that. So for, like, a traditional red-blue deck that plays Lucky Dime, you're assuming that they're gonna go Tamatoa, Dime, Quest, 12 lore. What happened this game? And then, like, you end up in this list, you just end up really utilizing things like Maui Shark to get some really impactful actions back into play, and then also gaining lore for it. So, like, if you think about it, you have cards like Tamatoa, where, realistically, how many times are you questing with Tamatoa and really hitting 5, 6, 7 lore at once? Sure, those are great, nice swings, but one of the things that Ruby Amethyst just tends to do well, and Emerald Amethyst, is just the steady lore gain. And I feel like we're kind of seeing that here, just with a lot more top-end removal to insulate the protection for the closing the game out.
Yeah, it's a bold move.
I played against.
Go ahead, Rebecca.
Oh, I played against a player at my locals who had a very similar deck to this. So it was a Ruby Sapphire, no dime. And I was talking to him afterwards, and he was saying that right now in the current meta that Lucky Dime is just too slow, and the having a deck like this without it, and that not being your main win condition, was just much better positioned with the decks that are out there, and that also this deck is really able to handle aggro decks much better than the previous version of Ruby Sapphire that we've been used to. And because there is, with the new Amber Steel aggro variant, that this version of Ruby Sapphire seems to be better positioned than the Lucky Dime version.
And I will say, I remember when I first started playing and I was running Lucky Dime, and this is actually the deck I was playing, obviously without the insertion with some of the newer cards. Not having a game plan where it's always the same, it alleviates the pressure of, like, oh, I'm not seeing my Lucky Dime, I'm not gonna have that Lucky Dime play, and it kind of like shuts off, like, the pressure of not seeing it and focusing on more of a different game during this game. Saying, like, I could see why you take that pressure off, and not, like, it's interesting, right? It's like not as pressure if you don't see that one play to solidify the game, right? So this is really interesting.
Yeah, and adapting to the aggro meta with 3 Vitalispheres and 3 Maui Sharks.
Yeah.
Just, you want to just on curve, like, get that Maui Shark out, just check something on board. start recurring and just start, just looping these actions and gaining lore from it, just really, really strong.
Yeah.
Well, unironically, this is very close to the list that Humble and I ran at Charlie's. We cut down to 1 dime in our list just because we're cowards and don't want to get free rolled by. We don't get free rolled into the mirror, but no, like honestly, it's not even like obviously Maui Shark is a big part of it, and the Vitalospheres do it, but Pirate's Life is honestly the card that makes this deck shine against aggro. It is unironically now. I mean, Pirate's Life's been out since set 4, and it just hasn't had a home. And now we just have a way to facilitate it. And Pirate's Life by itself, as CCS, just stole me so many sets because, I mean, it's the reset clock that we've never had before.
Actually, remember that? Sorry, but like Pirate's Life reminds me of set 1 meta with Ruby Amethyst and Aladdin, right?
Yeah, exactly. It's the same thing. It's just a song, but we can recur it.
Exactly. You don't have to set that up anymore. But like as an Amber Steel player in set 1, nothing felt more painful than getting to 18, 19 lore and just questing out and be like, you either got it or you don't. And then, as a matter of fact, I do have it, and I will be not attacking you not only once but twice. And that huge lore swing is just brutal. So, like seeing Pirate's Life just continuing to be played in Ruby Sapphire definitely gives me PTS.
Yeah, having Pirate's Life sitting there in the discard pile of your opponent with the Maui Shark on board, you're just like, I don't want to turn anything sideways.
Can't turn anything sideways, can't go wide and try to burst them down either because everything just gets banished.
Yeah, go ahead. Play a lot of dudes when I have Maui Shark on board. I'll just play people.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh my gosh.
Man, I dislike this version of the deck more than I like just like the die version.
It's legitimately it can legitimately be so oppressive. I was playing games with R&B today, and he was playing Amethyst Steel, and when we got done, he was like, "It's literally just a Pirate's Life. Like the rest of the deck isn't a problem. It's literally just a Pirate's Life."
It is fascinating, because I mean the dime and Tamato are built around recurring the dime in your items and all that, and this is. You add Maui now in, the action recurrer, and yeah, it's the same thing but different. Yeah, interesting. And it occurs to me too, like with the disappearance of some of our emerald, not the disappearance, but with some of our emerald lists losing favor, Emerald Amethyst getting now kind of beaten around a little bit by the Amber Steels, and then you have Green Steel is it was all the hotness for a while, and now it's around, but it's definitely not the hotness anymore. Those Ursula Deceivers aren't lurking around evermore to pick some of these songs right off the bat. So, yeah, so hence the shift back to Be Prepared and then songs like Pirate's Life being able to shine. So, interesting. I don't know. Anyway.
Rest in peace to Bucky.
He's not resting in peace, honestly.
Rest in pieces.
Bucky's the reason why I focus on. I don't want to play this game right now.
Just smug.
So annoying.
Yeah, I stole a couple of Ursulas during set champs with a no-brainer emerald. It really felt icky to win.
Oh no, I won my set champs, and it was like literally a 7-minute set against a Ruby Sapphire player. When we got done, I was like, I apologize. Because he before that he had such a grinding set against a Ruby Amethyst. It lasted like a 50-minute set. They were they came down to the wire. It was game 3, and then he gets the finals against me, and it's literally 7 minutes. And I was like,
Some of the comments are crazy with this Bucky.
One of the set champs I won for the Ursula was actually I was in the finals with Freddie, who made the top cut for this event, and he was on Amber Steel and I was on the Emerald Steel deck, and I had the God Hand both games I was on the play, and he was just laughing, He's like, yeah, let me guess, Bucky. Absolutely great.
What else can you do?
You know
but laugh.
problem with
Yeah.
that deck, it's like what you just said. I had the God Hand. I hear that all the time with that deck. I had the God Hand. It comes just so often, and it's
Listen,
like, oh,
if you're a real Emerald Steel player, you always have Bucky on 2, and now if you're a real Emerald Steel player, you always have Diablo Shift Diablo.
oh,
Into Cove. Don't forget.
Yeah, you always have Diablo Scope Shift Diablo.
You always have Storm, both Diablos, and Cove in hand.
the only time I like seeing Diablo is if I pull an enchanted Diablo. That's the only time I like.
Oh, there you go.
Man.
It's not even good right now, guys. Come on.
No, I'm having PTSD. Jokes on that. Watch Emerald Steel win the North American Continental Championship.
I'm waiting for somebody to show up, just like Vegas.
I'm waiting.
Like,
Yeah.
we broke this deck and nobody knew it.
No, what's gonna win is Oswald Dime. You guys haven't seen it yet, but we're developing.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
I'm gonna make a bold prediction.
Or Lucky Dime.
Or Lucky Dimes.
I'm gonna make a bold prediction and say there's a 0% shot we see Emerald Steel in the finals. 0%
Does anybody
shot.
play it? Does any North American Championship qualifier bring that deck into the main event?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
I love
it. Yes, we're going to see it because I mean, you can still just win the game if you high roll, but I think there's a 0% shot we see it do well.
Fascinating. All right. Well, we're gonna clip this.
Listen. I'm gonna just the same thing that happened to me with Bend to My Will at CCS. I'm gonna say this, and then like round 1 in my pod of LCQ, I'm just gonna get hard rolled by Emerald Steel. I'm like, yeah, that's right. This is.
Yeah. That's funny. Lance Castle pointing out Dale probably bringing Dale Belladeo of Emerald Steel fame probably bringing this in. And just we'll give Dale a shout out real quick since we did. If you are interested in playing Emerald Steel at all, Dale has a fantastic Metafy on this. Is that how you say it? Metafy?
Yeah.
Metafy on how to pilot this deck, and you should go check him out if this is a deck that suits your fancy. With that, I mean, we're running. We're running close to time. So we need to sign off and get to main business here. So I do want to go around the horn in a moment and ask everybody for their closing thoughts. Before I do that, let's do this drawing here. We have
the real drawing. Now it's time.
I'm good, right?
Mess this up
I
either,
want to show you this other artwork that we have as well from Peter afterwards, but we'll wait till this is done.
Whoa, hold on.
Ugh,
So good.
so jealous.
So good.
I've been opening a lot of packs. I got paper cuts.
Golly. I mean, the Enchanted by itself is cool. There it is. The Enchanted by itself is cool. The sketch by itself is cool. The sketch on the Enchanted is just uber cool. Yeah, fantastic.
If you guys haven't seen any of Peter's work, you got to see a lot of his Funkos as well, and the way he illustrates Stitch, and he does the one that he licks the
Look at
that. Oh, hey.
Like
Oh my God! Yeah, he's just very talented.
Man. Hold on, Brandon. I got you here. Look at
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, and look,
Oh, that's so fun.
look at this one he did
Oh
for
my
Southside.
gosh.
I love that he wraps like the.
Look at this one. All the cherry blossoms he did for us.
Oh, look at
Oh, that looks so good.
Crazy.
That's the card right there.
I mean,
Oh, that's sweet.
And what's on the box?
We got
this one's crazy. The color is just insane.
Oh my
gosh.
gosh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
right.
Is that meant to be a set? Because it definitely. Oh, that's.
So you did on the
I
other
see.
side.
it.
Together. Oh, look, it's the little doll.
That's so cute.
And then
Oh.
Yeah, just
Such an angel.
Look at that.
all 3 sides.
Oh man.
Oh my goodness.
Aw.
He's so wonderful.
Yeah, he's an amazing guy.
Oh.
Amazing artist.
He's a great person. Look at that. All right. So definitely follow Peter Orlando. Look out for his work. He does some fantastic sketches. Before we do this drawing, we have, so while Aaron's setting this up, we have over 100 entrants. We should keep in mind Southside Gaming, who's here with us on the stream, is sponsoring this giveaway. In the show notes, we have the link to the South Florida Lorcana Discord, where you can connect with the South Florida Lorcana community, including Southside Gaming. We also have a link to follow Southside Gaming on Twitter, I believe, and we'll post some other social links there too. So check out the show notes if you want to follow these folks and what they're doing. So thank you so much for this giveaway. With that, Aaron, let me go view this in Sheets. Let's see what we got here. we have it's right. It is correct. And just so you know,
one from October.
Casey Duncan, I know you were here, who won the Moana. I know you were here for this main event and not necessarily the Moana. So we have not disqualified you from the main event. If you're super lucky, you could win twice.
Gosh, that would be a lucky day.
All right. Should we do it, Aaron?
Sure.
All right.
Okay. The Google random number generator. Ready?
Well, hold on. Let me do this. I'm going to black this out here. I'm going to black this out here. I'm going to drag. We're really drawing this out, but this is such a cool prize. I'm going to draw this over here. We have names. So we're going to do that. We're going to do this. We're going to show the screen here. Look at that. These are all the entrants here. And what I will say, they're off by, don't get super excited tied to the number by the cell. They're off by 1 because the header takes up one of the numbers. So it is 1 number higher than whatever number we
draw.
call. All right. We draw.
Okay, ready?
All right.
1, 2. Wait. You want me to go
3 times?
Okay.
3 times. Yep.
1, 2, 3. Number 53.
Which is 54 on the sheet. Let's scroll down. Let's see here. Number 54. Jason Seidel. Jason Seidel.
Oh, nice.
Congratulations, Jason.
Congratulations.
Shout out to Jason.
Wow,
Ooh,
congratulations.
Let's how do I there we go.
There it
Sean's
goes.
on social media. Jason, are you here? So yeah.
Yay,
Hopefully Jason's
Jason.
here. We have your email address. We'll reach out. That is that's the winner of the Stitch.
Congratulations.
Yay, Southside Gaming.
Yay, Southside Gaming. Like, thanks
Yeah,
so much.
that's
So
awesome.
much. What a cool giveaway. What a cool tournament. What a cool event. And what a cool store. So thank you all for everything.
Super grateful. Thank y'all. You guys were amazing. And we look forward to growing the community and then having more synergy with everyone here. And thank you for welcoming us like a family. We appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Lorcana, who is always says Lorcana is Ohana means Lorcana.
Means family.
Lorcana means family.
Family all in the same sentence. But
That's Scott from
Scott.
with Foxes.
yeah, Scott's. Yeah. With that, I do want to go around and ask everybody for the closing comments, make sure everybody knows where to follow you, and then we'll wrap this up. Let's start, since we're talking Southside Gaming. Southside Gaming, I am going to put your stuff in the show notes, but how can people follow you and stay connected with you if they want to attend one of your events?
So I would highly recommend joining our Discord group. And we can go ahead and put that, in the group. Our Instagram at Southside Gaming __. Our Twitter at Southside Gaming. And then definitely our YouTube, because we're going to start doing a lot of content, including a lot of these gameplay. And we're going to start doing a lot of deck profiles, but more importantly, having discussions on different types of game state plays. So definitely check us out. It's out Southside Gaming. Everything is spaced out on YouTube. But definitely the Discord, and definitely go ahead and go to the South Florida Lorcana Network. Please, that's the place to go for a community. And everybody is so kind, so supportive. And they just want everyone to do well and win, right? So definitely check everything out, okay?
Yeah. No, I appreciate it. We will post the link to the Discord in the show notes. That's already there. People in the chat are calling us out. I did say you had to be present to win. It's one of the things you do in a live stream is you say people have to be here, right? It's a live stream. So Jason has, we'll give him another 60 seconds or so to post in the chat if he's here. If he's not, we'll do another drawing. So with that, let's go over to Sarah. Any closing thoughts? And one thing I should have asked, and I'll come back to Southside, any closing thoughts on tonight's stream and thoughts going to nationals? And then what deck do you think is going to win the North American Continental Championship America event?
That's you got it.
Don't ask me, because you know what I'm going to say. Oswald? No, I'm kidding.
Oswald item deck, yeah. Microbots. The Microbot puppy deck, right? Sapphire, Amber.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, if a puppy deck won, that would be the most epic.
Yes. I have one ready to go.
Half Microbot, half puppy.
My heart wants Amber Steel to make it. I feel like we're always so close yet so far. I don't think Amber Steel's made any of the finals for the DLCs, right?
Yes, it has.
Yeah, it's made finals.
Amber Steel's been in the finals of most of them. To be
Sorry,
honest.
I meant like the
Why do you think that is
the
though?
winning deck?
Because I feel like that's so.
I don't think it's won.
That's-
any of
yeah.
It
them.
hasn't. It hasn't won, but it's been in the finals. multiple
It's
times.
top 8. It's
Yeah,
top
it's top.
4.
No,
yeah.
no, that for sure. But I want Amber.
Chris
Steele to
Chris
take it.
Oyola.
Well, Frank
knocked
Karsten.
Yeah, I remember that.
Carson,
Yeah.
too.
and went
Okay,
on.
that's right.
Oh yeah.
Carson did win. Okay, so yeah, there is hope.
Mhm.
So obviously,
maybe they can do.
yeah. So obviously that would be my pick. Kylie, what are your thoughts?
I'm gonna say Ruby Sapphire.
Ruby
I
Sapphire.
think it's positioned well right now. I think Maui Shark, Pirates Life,
Yeah.
very very strong cards. I think they're good into aggro decks. I think they're good into mid range decks. So that'd be my call.
I'm gonna go with my boy Jack Southside. He's one of our players, and the Blurple. That's what I'm gonna do. I listen. Going undefeated in Swiss is a big deal. It really is. So
Yeah.
I think.
Did you see the conversion rate on that for that last big tournament at where was it? SSG.
50%.
Hey, percentage of numbers are numbers, right?
Yeah. Sarah, and I threw a wrench into the question with the prompt with what deck do you think will win? Any other closing thoughts going into nationals?
So I think with our most recent event, which we named it Road to Continentals, hopefully gave enough practice to some of the players that have qualified and are heading into the LCQ. So, for those of you who were fortunate enough to get into the LCQ or get your qualifications, good luck. Get your reps in. Play test with your friends, your team, your locals. Get ready. I mean, the amount of prestige that you can get by winning the first ever U.S. Continentals, seeing it happen in EU. And the amount of production and I was just in awe. That is just a memory that what a core memory, right? That will just live with you. So good luck to those of you going. I know that SSG will be there.
Yes,
Couple
yes.
Players, as well as some of the staff to just really enjoy and attempting the LCQs and just have a great time.
Yes.
Okay, so since we haven't heard from our winner, we are going to draw again. I've actually, I don't know if folks can see this.
I believe so. Yeah,
Anyway, I downloaded a new number generator so that we can actually see it on camera. Okay,
I'll bring it up.
Again, we're adding 1 to this number because that's the list. Okay, ready? And pull 1, 2, and 3. Number 12.
13 on the list.
Lucky number 13.
Wow. Oh my gosh.
I hope he's still here. He's here early on.
Okay.
Number 13 is Bobby Break.
Bobby.
Hey,
Bobby, let's go.
Bobby Drake.
But if Bobby is still here, if Bobby's not here, somebody shoot him a note real quick and be like, get back in the game.
Must be present to win.
Bobby Break, number 13 on the list.
Okay, so while we're waiting to hear from Bobby, Sarah, we know we'll see you in Disneyland. What are your final thoughts? What are you looking forward to? What are your predictions?
So, prediction wise, so my go-to is I always talk to Lorcana Bro whenever I need deck list help or analysis or anything because he's the expert. And because I want to win my set champ since I'm not competing in the LCQ. It sounds like it's going to be Amber Steele. So that's my prediction. What do I think is going to win? Sapphire Steele, obviously, all the time. Sapphire Steele forever. So, but very, very excited to see all the decks that come through for the LCQ. And I think it's really exciting to see everyone's local meta kind of come together, at this national level for the championships. And yeah, Sapphire Steele forever.
Yeah. That's awesome. Rebecca, over to you. Any closing thoughts? And what do you think is going to win? And make sure you tell people how they can follow you.
And wait, hold up. And I have to add, Sarah didn't answer this one. What are you most excited for Quest in the Park?
Oh my gosh, for Quest in the Park, for seeing all the Team Lab take a group photo on Tiana's Bayou Adventure because I'm gonna make them all write it together. And I'm gonna buy the photo. and proudly display that. Not me, I won't be on. I'm gonna put everybody else on the boat and managerial rights.
Can I just say that what you got that question that is so interesting, so cool. We love what you guys have done with that. I think that's so interesting, and
thanks.
To be a part of that stuff is super fun.
Yeah, I mean, because it's stressful competing, and just to have everyone have some fun. Like Logan was saying, like for a lot of these teams, this is the time that you get to come together and see each other face to face. For the only parts of the year that you get to do that are like DLCs or these championships. So to have like ability to like have some fun outside of it, I think it's going to be really good.
And can I just add, as as a store owner here, in the TCG realm, obviously I love all of our communities, right? For every card game, not just Lorcana. Obviously, big shots like Pokemon and like One Piece and Yu-Gi-Oh. However, I find with this community, it's because even though it's such a new game, what's interesting is that all the ancillary events that are going on that are bringing the community together, right? It's more than just a card game. I love that what the Ravensburger is doing, what Disney's doing, and it's exciting to see the future. I think this right here is what's going to make this game stronger, and it's going to evolve and evolve and evolve, right? So it's I think it's doing something that not many TCGs ever did, right? It's super fun.
Lorcana community's best community.
Rebecca, what about you? What are your thoughts? What are you looking forward to? Quest in the Park.
What is Liam doing?
I'm trying to do finger hearts. But I'm really bad.
Trying to catch a mosquito or something.
Game signs. I don't know.
I was like, what is he doing?
Yeah, I'm really bad.
Yeah, that is a thing with like the hearts. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know how you do it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, I see it now.
This way.
Yeah.
I thought he
Yeah.
was like rushing.
Anyway.
Rebecca,
Hurry up.
I thought it was a Thanos
Let's
snap.
get going. Let's get going.
I started like going away for a second.
Yeah, like, whoa.
Here, Southside, let's make a heart. Here.
Oh man.
Come in.
I know.
Yeah.
There you go. There we go.
Finger hearts.
Sorry, we'll stop derailing.
No.
Hearts, important stuff.
Oh, man.
We're just calling Bobby to make sure Bobby's here.
Bobby,
What are you doing?
Bobby's
He's
here.
here.
All right,
Bobby's
good,
here.
good, good, good.
Bobby's here. Congrats, Bobby.
He claimed it. He claimed
He
it.
claimed, yeah.
Oh my gosh, Liam.
Snap us away.
Oh my
Please, Thanos.
goodness. I think Quest in the Park, I'm super excited about that. I think, like, as everyone has said, like, beyond just the card game, Disney fandom is huge, right? And so I think that it's going to be so fun to celebrate all the things that we love about Disney and Lorcana and Disneyland there in the parks. So I think it's going to be a fantastic day and a great way to kick off the weekend going into the championships. I'm really excited about the whole tournament. I'm excited about the meta and how diverse it is. I think we're going to see so many amazing decks, and I don't know. I want to say Ruby Sapphire, but I feel like I'm going to say Ruby Amethyst.
Okay. It's the safe choice.
Very safe choice.
Old reliable. Yep.
Conservative.
Okay, so Logan, we know you think that Amethyst Emerald's gonna win, and what are your
No, that would be my dream. It would be.
Well, it would be, I feel like your dream would be that you piloting Amethyst Emerald.
I mean, yes,
Into the
absolutely.
finals. Yes.
I just get the god bracket of Ruby Sapphire lists. Like, yes, let me just cruise my way into the finals. But no, legitimately, like Sarah touched on, bigger events like this is when Labyrinth as a team get to actually see each other because we are so spread out.
Awesome.
So I haven't seen Lorcana Bro since Vegas. So I'll be super excited to see everybody. We're specifically like Lorcana Bro, me, and I think 3 or 4 other people. Like we just have time set aside at the park Thursday that we're gonna go spend together and just hang out.
That's cool.
Sailor's bringing his family, obviously, so we're gonna try to sneak in some time with him. But he's got his wife and son with him, so we don't want to try to steal him too much. But no, like very much, I love going to any of these bigger events. I feel so privileged to meet anybody I mean, I feel very privileged to be on the team that I'm on, to be able to have the platform that I do. I just love encouraging new players and anybody that comes up. Because we've touched on it 100 times as we've been through this, but Lorcana very much so has a very unique community. It's a very unique experience when you come to a bigger event. I personally have not had one shred of negativity in any of my interactions at any of my bigger events. And I just try to keep on passing on that positive energy as much as I can, because literally without all of my friends and just the community behind me, much like Sarah being here, Sarah does so much for us that nobody ever sees or would know about. And yeah, it's awesome. It's a celebration, and I'm excited to be a part of it again.
Amazing.
I'm responding to comments as I'm delayed. That's awesome. Can't wait to see you as well, and echo everything you said. And lastly, over to our surprise guest, Brandon. Thanks for jumping in and giving us your thoughts here. It's always a pleasure chatting with you. Any thoughts from you going into the North American National Lorcana Championship?
Sure. I mean, thanks for pulling me on. Impromptu like this, I always love coming on here and yapping about stuff. I think we're going to be in for a super wild ride. It was mentioned earlier in the stream. This meta is very reminiscent of set 3. It's just like wide open, it feels like, or as wide open as you can expect a trading card game meta to be. So I wouldn't be surprised if something weird or unexpected makes it to the top. I think Labyrinth is going to do the back-to-back. Luke took Seattle. Labyrinth is going to take NA champs again. Hopefully Logan, whatever. I'm going with whatever deck he's playing, man. These guys are just going to take it. No, but if I had to put it on one deck, I've got to stick with Amber Steel. It's what I've been playing since set 1. It's my pet deck, the one that I love the most. So even though it's popular right now, I think there's a couple different variations. I could see one sneaking through. But shout out to Southside, shout out to Rebecca and Sarah for you guys doing awesome community stuff. There's, it's like Logan just said, the community for Lorcana is so unique, and there's more than just the competitive players. And although the competitive players might bring a lot of attention to the game, and we watch the DLCs, we watch the tournaments, we watch the content that a lot of competitive players make. There's so many people who are collectors or more social players, and I think it's super important to facilitate events for them, or even if it's a mix, right? Like Southside talked about, how important it is to just kind of make sure that it's fun for everybody, right? Like you want everybody to show up and have fun. And I think it's just awesome that we have a community that facilitates that. I encourage everybody to continue to do that, whether that's locally or just, telling Ravensburger, hey, we want to see more stuff like this. You have a bunch of different types of players that need to be catered to. So with all that being said, super excited for North America Continental Championship Nationals. Excited to see everybody there. Yeah.
Awesome. We'll figure out what the approved name is eventually.
North American.
Thanks so much, everyone, for being here.
Yeah. Tune in after the event where we will have the approved name.
No, Aaron, any closing thoughts from you?
No, I just can't believe that something that we've really been working towards since March, when this whole thing was kind of announced, is actually happening next week. It is super surreal to me, because we just got home yesterday from our last trip, and we're turning around. I'm like, I'm not going to put that in the closet. I'm packing. And so I'm so excited. This the culmination of all of these incredible players' hard work is just coming to fruition next week. We get to see so many of the people that we love from around the country and around the world next week at Disneyland, one of my favorite places in the world. And it's just going to be, it's a Disney game. It's just going to be a magical week, you know? So
It is.
can't wait.
Yeah. No, couldn't say any better myself. I also can't wait. I'm excited. I'm nervous. But everybody out there watching, thank you all for tuning in with us this Monday night, hanging out with us for a couple hours here. Thanks again to Southside Gaming for the amazing giveaway and amazing event. Thank you to all our amazing guests for being here and for all you do for the community. And again, thanks to everybody for watching. So until next week,